Hello and welcome to ShanghaiEye. I'm Chen Xuan.
And I'm Stephen Rancourt. Suzhou Creek is considered the mother river of Shanghai. It has nurtured the early prosperity of the city and has been a major part of historical changes over the decades. Wang Yin took a walk along Suzhou Creek during Spring Festival to explore more about the city's iconic landmarks.
Hello and happy Spring Festival! For locals and newcomers alike, we're going to show you a side of Shanghai like you've never seen before. And today we're gonna walk along the Suzhou Creek. Let the fun begin.
Suzhou Creek is considered the mother river of the city. It nurtured the early prosperity of Shanghai, witnessing its historical changes. The Jing'an section of Suzhou Creek is known as the Suzhou Creek Bay due to its beautiful arc shape and is lined with numerous historical buildings, making it one of the birthplaces of China's national industry, commerce, and finance. Let's kick off the city walk along the Jing'an section of Suzhou Creek.
If you love art or even if you just have a hipster friend to impress, this place is a must. That's the Suhe House.
Suhe House is a former warehouse now turned into Art Deco space for global art and innovation, currently showcasing a three-body exhibition. You will have tons of social media shareable photo opportunities.
The floor here is covered with sand, I think. Oh, but I don't know what it is. It's not quite like real sand. I've never seen it before.
这次展览呢，它其实不是对三体原著的一个复刻，而是基于三体当中对宇宙、文明、探索等等这些精神的一个出发，来去融合了艺术家在这方面的思考。三体它其实是一个思想实验大合集，那我们这次的展览也是希望观众进来以后，可以在这种宇宙的尺度下去重新去审视自己的生活。
The Shanghai Fuxing Flour Factory used to be the largest flour mill in Shanghai. The former site has retained its original appearance and exudes a strong sense of historical vicissitudes. As one of China's earliest industrial buildings, Sihang Warehouse features the Art Deco style. Built in 1931, it was a joint warehouse for 4 banks. The west wall of the warehouse is pockmarked with bullet holes and shell craters, which bear witness to the fierce battle that took place in Shanghai in 1937.
These battle scars serve as a reminder of the sacrifices made, and also they are a testament to the enduring spirit of the heroes. As the only one warside-type patriotic education base in Shanghai, we highly recommend you pay a visit, but keep in mind, the memorial is closed on Mondays.
Located on the Suzhou Creek, Shanghai's Suhe Mixi World blends the city's past, present, and future. The starting point of the project was rethinking commercial spaces to better integrate with their surroundings. The above-ground buildings include Shenyu Lane, one of the city's best-preserved Shikumen neighborhoods, boasting nearly a 100-year history.
Hey, Mr. Buzz.
Another notable feature is the Tianhou Temple Palace, Shanghai's largest temple dedicated to Mazu, dating back to the late 19th century.
The Tianhou Temple Palace is right beside the shopping mall area, and this place is pretty tranquil here. It makes me feel so lighthearted. Hope you enjoyed our deep dive into the urban spaces of the city, and we look forward to seeing you again on City Walk in Shanghai.
Well, now back to Harbin. We've talked about the natural ice blocks harvested from the Songhua River, but Stephen, what is the process of using them in sculptures?
Well, as detailed in the harvesting video, the bulk of the ice will be used for next year's structures at the Snow and Ice World. Then by January, when temperatures are closer to -20 or -30, they begin the carving of the artistic ice sculptures.
I saw some online. There were massive ice dragons, ice terracotta warriors, and even ice houses and hot pots. So, have you tried any of the carving?
I did, yes. I actually did give it a try. It was the first time I've ever carved anything out of ice. I met up with a master artisan at a university in Harbin, and he started me on something a lot smaller. Let's take a look. If you're walking down the streets of Harbin during the winter, you'll find ice sculptures everywhere you look. Now, I'm not talking about the massive frozen structures of the ice and snow world. Those are great, sure. But here, the art is smaller, more personal. In early January, teams of ice sculptors from over 10 countries come to Harbin for an annual ice carving competition. We've got pros, students, even your average Joe from the neighborhood pitching in to turn blocks of ice into masterpieces. Like sandcastles, ice and snow art is temporary. But I've discovered a place where the pieces can be preserved in the world's largest indoor ice gallery, where people can marvel at the artistry of ice sculptures all year round.
It's legitimately ice, but it almost looks like a plastic that's made to look like ice.
The temperature inside the pavilion is kept between -8 and -12 degrees, cold enough to maintain the intricate details of the ice sculptures.
What I really like is when you can see the seams and the blocks that were used to make these sculptures. Some of them are quite massive, as you can see. Impressive. Very impressive.
I got the chance to try out ice carving for myself. A veteran ice carver and teacher invited me to an art school on the outside of town to give it a shot. But we're going to stay on the smaller side.
哎，老师你好。
Hello，你好。
早上好。我想想今天你教我怎么雕刻那个冰。
您是从哪里来的？
我是加拿大人。
哦，从加拿大来。
对，
想学冰雕。啊，那我们来今天体验一下怎么做冰雕。
好的。
来，我们看一下这个冰。
对，啊，那个冰块来自哪里啊？
这些都是我们来自松花江。
也是松花江。
哎，松花江的这个天然冰。
嗯，
体验一下，有没有信心呢？
哎呀，试试看，对，
试试看。好嘞。
This ice skating tiger is Bin Bin, carved by other students. It's actually one of the mascots of the 9th Asian Winter Games.
Imagine I make something that looks that good on my first try. What do you think? Is it possible? Place your bets now.
Before picking up the ice chisel and getting to work, there's some preparation that needs to be done. First, the design is drawn from 3 angles on a piece of paper.
You get a front view, a side view, a back view, and then you get a 3D camera that you can move around.
Then a clay model is sculpted. The instructor and his team have developed a clear sculpting medium that looks a lot like ice, so his students can practice all year round.
很好，是比冰软，比冰软。
But since I'm here in the winter, I can go directly to ice carving.
今天就雕这个，
哈，
照着来。这个比例是头，占这个1/2左右，啊，下边1/2。然后呢，我们在这个上面呢，就是画出这个形来，是不是啊？然后呢，这个手在这儿，
还有那个耳朵呢？
耳朵画出来，对，耳朵。它这块呢，立体的在这儿呢，对吧？
啊，对，
在这儿，耳朵在这儿。
啊，好的。
耳朵在这儿，这后边是这么圆的。侧面会画吗？你画个侧面，好不好？
All right, so we're just going with general shapes now.
然后我们呢就用这个工具拿着机械。这个使用的时候呢，是我们这个右手拿着这个后半部，前面压着点，这样呢讲，比如说它这个头，你可以到这边，我就推着走，推着往前推，是吧？试一下，
好的，
对的，玩 good 啊，
谢谢。但是我觉得在12月那个哈尔滨比我老家那个冷，
比你老家冷。
对。现在在家里，现在应该是那个-9度左右的。
哦，-9度，
对，
那还很暖和的。我们
-9度是很暖的，
很暖的。我们在哈尔滨-20度，今天-20度。对。冰雕呢是减法的艺术，它必须把我们那个大的冰块往下减，因为它加不上去，因为一加它就有痕迹。 所以说呢，我们通常是按照减，越减，一点点减。
那夏天之后你也雕刻吗？还是
夏天我们画冰雪画
是吗，
也有这个室内的教学啊，在我们小学有这个叫非遗冰雕的课程啊，从小就培养它。现在是我们黑龙江的非物质文化遗产项目啊，冰雪雕技艺。我们在学校里面叫大师进校园，然后非遗的这个传承人进校园，然后呢成立工作室，这样来讲，让我们的学生呢毕业啊，既有我们的那个专业的学士学位证书，还有我们的技能证书。
Harbin is considered the birthplace of ice and snow sculpture art here in China. Hundreds of years ago, local fishermen began carving simple tools and toys from natural ice blocks. In 1963, the first ice lantern show was held at Zhaolin Park in Harbin, marking the beginning of the modern ice sculpture art scene. The first ice and snow sculpture art degree program in China began at Harbin Normal University in 2009. Today, multiple schools in Harbin offer ice and snow sculpture programs or related courses.
头再小一点，
好的。
头再小，这边再缩小。
好的。
对。
The master here sees, you can see circles, you can see triangles and squares, and chisel those out first, and then you work your way into the shape you're going for. The other big part of it is knowing how the ice is going to react to the tool. I'm noticing that if I push a little bit too hard, I get a big chunk that just flies off. But if you're sort of gentle with it, you can really just persuade the ice to do what you want it to do. There we go. That's what we're looking for. A little UV light. So, you know, you start off with a block, you slowly whittle it down, and eventually you get to something that somewhat resembles an Asian Games mascot. If you're looking to try this out, it's actually a lot of fun. When I first started, I was kind of like, this is never going to work. And I will admit that anything that looks good on this is a result of my teacher. Although I am starting to get the hang of it. I'm starting to get the hang of it.
In today's Shanghai A to Z section, we offer you a guide on what to prepare when bringing a pet to Shanghai. China has a variety of policies for pets coming from different countries or regions. People coming from certain countries or regions, such as the United Kingdom, Japan, Hong Kong, or Macau, must prepare a quarantine certificate of rabies vaccination or immunization record, as well as have an electronic microchip in your pet. The quarantine certificate includes pet information such as its breed, gender, age, serial number, date, and location of the implanted microchip, as well as the date and result of the animal health examination. The microchip must comply with international standards, otherwise you need to bring a reader that can read the chip. And if you are from any other countries or regions, extra documents such as a rabies antibody test report issued by a laboratory recognized by China Customs is required. However, if you bring a guide dog, hearing dog, or rescue dog with all the right documents, the animal can be immediately pulled from quarantine after passing an on-site health check. And now it's time of the ShanghaiEye Q&A, where we search our socials and answer some of your questions. Today's question is from Jasmine in Singapore. I was in hospital for health reasons several months ago. Can I claim a special deduction for major disease healthcare costs through my employer's annual tax settlement? Yes, Jasmine, you can. If your employer handles your annual tax settlement, simply input your eligible major disease healthcare costs on the Tax Bureau app, then authorize your employer to claim this deduction on your behalf. If you got a question for us, you can find us on the socials.
We'd love to hear from you. You can find all our content online as well. And join us here on Dragon TV Monday to Friday.
Thank you so much for watching and see you next time.
Bye-bye.